Hi everyone, my name is Bukky and welcome to my channel, your number one place where you learn about basic personal finance topics and career. Today I'll be talking about something very interesting and something personal, which is how I paid off $5,500 worth of debt in 3 months. Yes, it happened that I think at the beginning of 2019, while I was taking stock of my finances, I realized there was a particular credit card that I have almost $5,000 worth of debt on it. And I realized if I do not pay it up as soon as possible in the next 6 months, I'm going to have like an interest rate of another $500 worth of debt on it. So I decided that this is something I need to work on, and I'm going to be sharing with you today the 7 steps I took to make sure that I paid off this debt and I was debt free within 3 months. Believe me, it is possible. All you need to do is follow the steps I will be sharing with you. Have faith that you're going to be able to pay off the debt, and let's see how that works. So before I go into the details, I would like to say thank you for coming to my channel. If you're new and if you're already a subscriber, thank you for always coming back and listening and watching my videos. I get your feedbacks. I'm really grateful. And don't forget to like this video as well. Also drop your comments in the comment section. If you have questions, don't hesitate to drop them. Also subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to it, and you can as well share the things I'm sharing with your family and friends and on your social media platforms or anywhere. You're free to do this. The first thing I did, right, in paying off this debt of $5,500 in 3 months was to realize that having that credit card was a problem. So I realized that debt itself, that $5,500 worth of debt, is a problem. And that's the first step you also need to take to be able to overcome that debt. Right? You need to see it as a problem. The thing is, if you don't see it as a problem, if you don't see that debt as a problem, you're not able to like get to that point, or you're not motivated up to that point where you realize, okay, it's a problem that needs a solution. But the moment you realize it is a problem, you start to think of how you want to solve that problem. Yes, and that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing I did was I reduced the limit of that credit card. What do I mean by that? It means that I reduced the amount of money I can actually spend on that credit card. Assuming the initial amount I could spend on the credit card was like $200, I reduced it to like something, say $50, because I don't want to use it anymore for any things. So by reducing it, I don't get to spend so much on the credit card anymore. And it's really like it's become like I got to the point whereby if I don't actually need it, I don't use the credit card. So that's also something you could do. You could reduce the limit on your credit card, which helps you in reducing your spending in a way. And the truth is, the money you don't have, you don't spend. The third thing I did was that at a time I had to stop using the credit card totally, because I saw it as a problem. I reduced the limit on that credit card, and then after a while I stopped using it completely because it was of no use anymore for me, because as time goes on I became more comfortable using cash or debit card, for example. So that's the third step. That would be the third step I would advise you to do, that you do not use that credit card anymore. If you ask me, what are you going to do with it? Well, you can keep it in a place where you don't have easy access to the card, or you can cut it off, or you can return it back to the company that gave you the credit card in the first place. So stop using that credit card, because the more you have it within you or around you, the higher the temptation that you want to use it for payment. So that's the third thing I did. I stopped using that credit card totally. The fourth thing I did in order to pay up my $5,500 worth of debt was that I calculated my total amount that I was owing, and I included the accruing amount, which is the interest rate every month, and that was how I was able to come about this $5,500. And And that's a very important step you need to take, because what you cannot measure, what you cannot quantify, you're not able to measure it, or you're not able to really achieve the goal. And you know, if you have a goal that is measurable, the probability that you're going to achieve it becomes higher. And that is why you need to really quantify exactly what exactly are you aiming at. What's the goal here? What's the total amount you're trying to pursue or to clear off in terms of debt? So I sat down, I calculated in all how much I was owing, right, on that credit card. I also included the amount per month that would accrue based on the number of months I want to plan in paying it off. And then I came up with the total sum of $5,500. And you know, if you're able to get the total amount, it helps you in planning how you want to pay it off. Because if you don't know how much you're owing, it's difficult to know or to plan what you're paying off. And that's why this step is really, really important. So the fifth thing I did was that I drew a plan on how I'm going to pay up that particular debt. And this plan can also be like a budget. You know, I have that sum, which is $5,500 in step 4, which I've been able to identify. But then it becomes difficult to achieve if I just leave it at that stage. And that's why it's really important for me to break it down into small pieces, because if I'm able to break it down into small pieces, then it's not so overwhelming as it appears in the first step. And that's the same thing I would advise you to do, or I would tell you to do, break that lump sum into small bits that you can easily achieve. And you know, the bits of it, the sum of the bits of it makes it whole. So what I did was that I broke down my $5,500 into 3 months, because my goal was to pay it off in 3 months, which means on the average every month I was paying, the first month I think I paid $1,008, the second month I paid another $1,008, and the last month, the third month, I paid off the remaining $1,004, right? And that's how I was able to pay up the $5,500 in 3 months. So it is achievable. Okay, so how was I able to get $1,008 for the first and second month? Well, what I did was, for my other expenses in the first and second month, I had to cut down on them, which is the 6th step I took. Because I just needed this debt to go away. I needed it to go away because it was choking me. So I had to take some very drastic steps. I cut down costs drastically, and because my goal was get it done and get it away. All right. And then if you look at all of these things, kind of action oriented, there are things that you need to do. You need to do them. And that's why that's why the 7th step would be, for me, discipline. I had to discipline myself. So in cutting down costs in several places, it takes a lot of discipline, because then it means that when others were going to parties, going for holidays, doing this and doing some other frivolities, I had to deny myself. Yes, I denied myself a lot of things during those 3 months. I had to stop spending on things that I could get cheaper. You know, that I did. And this requires a lot of discipline. To even sit down to draw up a plan or a budget, it requires a lot of discipline, right? So you need a lot of discipline and discipline and discipline to be able to go through these 7 steps. I hope you're able to wrap your head around the 7 things I have shared today, which is, the first thing is that identify that debt as a problem. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do, reduce the credit limit on that credit card. If you're able to do that, you're on the right track. The third thing you ought to do is, after limiting it, after some time, stop using that credit card. And that is the third thing that you need to do. The fourth thing you need to do is to quantify exactly how much debt do you have to pay off. Fifth thing I did was that I drew up a budget. I had to sit down with a plan of how I want to pay it off. What amount am I paying off at what time of the month? That I had to do, and this budget was different from my normal monthly budget. The sixth thing I did was, in order for me to be able to finance my budget, I had to like cut costs drastically in so many ways. And the seventh thing I did was that I was disciplined. Yes, it requires a lot of discipline. You have to deny yourself if you want to achieve those kind of goals. And believe me, it is possible. You just need to start. The moment you start, you're on the roll. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to me. Like I said, you can like this video, drop me a comment. I'm happy to hear about how you pay off, choking debts. From your experience, I want to know how you pay off your debt. Thank you. Until the next time we'll see. Bye bye.